Even as a European fitness coach, I struggled in Texas. And if you live in the US, this video could potentially explain why fat loss can sometimes feel so damn hard. So, for context, in the summer of 2022, I visited Texas for about 10 weeks. And despite being a fitness coach, I gained a little bit more weight than I had expected over those 10 weeks. And it wasn't from just like, oh, I let myself go sort of thing. Like, do you know what it came from? It came from me living in a completely different environment than I had ever been used to. And I feel like this isn't something that many fitness coaches speak about enough. So for context, let me take you back to that day in the summer of 2022 when I arrived in Texas. I flew from Lisbon in Portugal, and then I went from Newark. And then from Newark, where my connection flight was, I didn't actually stay there. I went from Newark to Houston. And then my wife, well, my now wife, picked me up from Houston and she drove me to Pearland. Now, a few things. I remember when I stepped outside the airport in Houston, I remember the hot, sticky air just like hit me like a ton of bricks. It felt like wearing jeans in a sauna. I've never worn jeans in a sauna before, but it doesn't sound like it'd be quite nice. So that's the first thing. Like, the heat is intense in the summer. Second thing, as we're in the car, bearing in mind I've been flying since the morning. Local time, it's probably like just after lunch, but because I'd come from just a different time zone that day, like my body is still in like evening time / night time. I haven't eaten since early in the morning, which is when my flight was. I'm ravenous. I'm hungry. I'm looking around me. I'm like, yeah, I want to eat something. I'm looking around. All the options, fast food. I'm not exaggerating. I wish I was. I'm not. It was fast food everywhere. I settled on Sonic because I'd never tried it before, and I thought, you know what, while I'm in Texas, I'll try something new. I remember it was all right, but it did the job at the time. Anyway, so, I eat, feeling much better, go to sleep, knackered because I've been, or exhausted, I could say, because I've been traveling all day. I wake up the next day, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like just excited. I'm in a new place I've never been to. Like, I've been to the US before. I lived for a year in New England. I did a college exchange year. I've been in and around the Northeast quite a lot, but it was my first time anywhere else in the country. So I'm excited. I'm raring to get going. Like, to my wife, I'm like, yeah, let's do something, anything. I don't mind what we do, where we go. I'm like, let's just go on a walk, because I love walking around different cities when I'm visiting new places. And she's like, Leo, I don't think you really realize there's nowhere we can walk to. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Anyway, I look at the map. On the map, the closest place to walk to, it was a gas station. 45 minutes. It was a 45-minute walk. By driving, it was like just over 5 minutes, but by walk, it was 45 minutes. It gets better. No pavement, no shade, no other people, and it's in the heat. Remember that heat I was telling you about where I'm wearing jeans in the sauna? That heat. So I'm just like, all right, like, so walking isn't really a thing here. Interesting. And the thing is, as time went on, and bearing in mind, I'm still strength training. Like, we were staying with my now wife's uncle, and he's got like a pretty nice gym garage, and he had like a good quality treadmill as well. I was still being consistent with strength training workouts. I was still being consistent with cardio. It's like I said, as time was going on, I was gradually gaining more weight. Not massively and all at once, but it was enough where it was starting to add up. And one day it clicked. What was going on is that, because in my life, I've lived in London. I was born and raised in London. I've lived in Tokyo. I've lived in Osaka. I've lived in Lisbon. And I've lived in like 2 or 3 other cities as well. And I had pretty similar approaches for all those cities, because all those cities were quite walkable. And it worked perfectly for me. Like, I'd figured it out. I'm doing things like it's second nature now. I don't have to think about it. And I'm like feeling healthy, feeling good. In Poland, that doesn't run, that doesn't work. Like, this is a completely new place, a completely new environment. And that's when it clicked me. Like, this is when it clicked me. I had never considered how much environment impacts our fat loss progress, or just our health in general. Like, yeah, I thought about it, but not deeply, not to the point where I've genuinely had to live in it and realized how it can impact me. Now, obviously, as time went on, I started to figure things out. I adjusted things. I gradually got the hang of it, and it was fine after. But that completely new environment, it was, I don't want to say a shock, but it was a wake up. It was a wake up to the way I approach, for example, fitness journeys with my clients based in the US. It was a wake up call where just how vastly life can be different in the US compared to many other parts in the world, because I just genuinely didn't realize. Again, I'd been to the US, I was always in New England, but I genuinely didn't realize how car centric a lot of the country was until I was there. I was living in it. And so it definitely made me adjust a lot of things. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of very good stuff that I enjoyed in Texas. Like, I enjoyed the food. The food is good, maybe too good. I enjoyed doing the sightseeing. There was a lot of cool places to go in and around Texas. I went to the NASA Museum. I can't remember I think it was the stockyards. I can't remember the names of all of them, but there's a lot of good stuff. So this isn't me getting at Texas. Like, I want to say I loved Texas, but this has just been basically explaining how big of a role your environment can play, because the thing is, in Texas, everything is a drive away. The portion sizes are massive. When I would go out to eat, I genuinely couldn't believe the size of some of the meals I was getting. For example, in England or around like mainland Europe or in Japan, like, I would get a meal and it would be a good size for that meal, like just that one meal. In Texas, I was like, that can be breakfast for me tomorrow as well. You can't really walk everywhere. Fast food restaurants are in abundance and they are very easily accessible. Like, they're convenient to get to, and convenience can play a huge role as well. And I also felt like saying no can often feel quite socially hard in Texas as well. So again, all of that just made me really realize a lot of stuff that were quite new to me at the time. And like I said, I can understand why a lot of people who live in the US and struggle with their health, their fitness, fat loss, can feel like the odd one out just for simply trying. Because even as a fitness coach and someone who knows what to do and has been doing it for years, I initially struggled too. So the reason why I wanted to make this video was because if you feel like you are someone in the US who is struggling, who is getting disheartened at maybe not seeing the results on the scale matching the effort that you're putting in, who is maybe overwhelmed by all the choices and who just feels like they're disheartened before they've even started, what I want to say in this video is, number one, I understand, because you're trying your best to make progress in an environment that's actively working against you. Like, I get that. Now, number two, and this is even more important, none of this video is to say that it's impossible, you can't make progress, it's not going to happen for you. Like, you absolutely 100% can still make progress. Many people in the US are living examples of it every single day. What this video is about is just about bringing awareness to the impact that our immediate environment can have. Because when you bring awareness to it, because so many people think fat loss and health and fitness is just about willpower, or just say no, or it's just about food, or it's just about exercise. And even though it is about all those things, a lot of people just don't think about their immediate environment and the role it can play. And the role it does play. So the reason why I wanted to make this video for you, it was just to wake you up to that point. You know, how can you make adjustments in your immediate environment? Because of course, yes, there's going to be a lot of things that you can't control. Like, you can't go for a walk unless it's to a gas station 45 minutes away with no pavement and no shade. But what can you do instead? There's still things you can control, and you focus on that. Can you get maybe a walking pad in the house that's going to help you get your steps up? Maybe, yeah, if you have the budget for it. Maybe you can buy less tempting foods and bring them in the house. Don't bring them in the house. That's going to help. So if you don't have less temptations at home, you're likely going to eat less fast food, for example. So there's always things that you can do, and you focus on that. Now, overall, I do want to say that if you felt like this video resonated with you, and you want to hear more from me, I did make a free 14-day fat loss Kickstarter. It's free. Everyone likes free stuff. Where basically I send out a daily email to you once a day, every day for 2 weeks. And it's just basically going to have a tip a day about what you can do to help you on your fitness and fat loss journey. Some of those tips, you can implement them there and then. Others can be like within the week, within the month. But it's always going to give you something to think about each and every day to help you make progress on that fitness journey, because I want to help stack the odds in your favor and keep you moving forward. Because again, like I said, you can still 100% make progress, but it's just about bringing awareness to the things that are going to help you make progress.